All right, guys, Ryjack back here doing another video. Today it's a little bit different. It's midweek. Man City are not playing in the Champions League, so we kind of have an off week. Thought I would look at something a little different. These are my four signings, my dream signings, who I want Man City to go for this summer. Some of them may not be, overly realistic, but I do think there is a chance that every one of them can happen. Some more likely than others for sure. I'll pull up my desktop here so I can show you the first one. First one, I started out on this a long time ago. Been saying it for about a year now on Twitter. And if you haven't followed me on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. I have a lot of Man City football takes on there, of course. But first off the list, it's Matheus Cunha. The guy has been dominating in the Premier League this season. He's been unreal. He's got 13 goals, 26 games, along with 4 assists, at only an XG of 6.7, as you can see here. I just think he's a really talented player, can play in the 10, can play 9, can play off of the left, and he's very versatile, can use both of his feet, scores from outside the box, can create space inside the box and score. He's got that Brazilian kind of flair to him, and he's of the right age. He's only 25. He'll be 26 going into next season, and I really think there's a winger spot opening up for us with the summer imminent departure of Jack Grealish. And as unfortunate as that is, it's just something that seems likely to happen. Feels like that's where we're headed, and that spot needs to be replaced. Matheus Cunha, for me, is that winger we should go for. Prem proven, and there's no doubt about his quality. Wolves are in near relegation zone, and they'd be much lower without this guy's contributions this season. If you look over here on the analytics scouting report, non-penalty goals, he's in the 96th percentile, which is just fantastic. This is against top 5 leagues in the world over the last year. These stats right here. Shots, he's very aggressive, obviously, on player, and even defensively for this position as an attacking mid/winger, he's active defensively, as you can see with the clearances being high and the interceptions also being pretty high. He has progressive passes and successful take-ons, which again, great traits that we would want in our winger or 10 if that's where he would play. If you look over here with similar players, some huge names on the list. I mean, Justin Kluivert's having a great season for Bournemouth. Of course, Dani Olmo's been mega for Barca. I know he's been injured a lot, but he's had a really, really good season. Brian Mbeumo, great season for Brentford. And then you see Morgan Rogers, the former Man City player that a lot of you guys on Twitter have suggested that we should be looking at signing. And maybe we could, but I don't know if Villa will be open to that sale. Personally, they'll probably be looking to stay relevant in Europe and keep competing. So I don't know if selling one of their young talents is the move for them, especially back to us. And then down here on the bottom, Rafinha, one of the leading contenders in the Ballon d'Or rankings right now, scored a crazy goal today in the Champions League. And, the Champions League's back where we want to be. A player like Cunha on the wing, I believe, is the move. I'm not sure how much it would cost. He did sign a new contract, but that should come with a release clause. I would imagine it's no more than 70, 75 million. Seems doable to me. He'd be the one I would go for as far as an attacker, specifically on the left wing, replacing Jack Grealish. Now, we move to the midfield with my next player here. He is actually very signable because he's got his contract's up this summer. He would be coming in on a free, and yes, it is Joshua Kimmich. For me, I have rated Kimmich for as long as I can remember. I always love watching Bayern. I think he's such a unique type of player who can play in the 6, can play in the 8, can play right back. He can invert from right back. He's got so much versatility. And we all know that's what Pep loves, versatile players. He's worked with Kimmich before, so there's obviously some relationship there. He is pushing 30 years old. So it is a little bit older, but again, this is a free transfer here. His contract is up. Contract talks have seemingly stalled, according to reports on Twitter and whatnot. He's not a huge goal threat with only 1 goal this season, but does have 6 assists, which is pretty good in general in the league, and along with 4 in the Champions League in only 10 games. So Kimmich proven quality. He's done it at the international level for a long time. He's an 8-time Bundesliga champion. He brings the winning culture without a doubt. He's got a Champions League on his notch here, 1920. And if you look at the players he's similar to, there's no doubt that you guys will know these names: Luka Modric, Angelo Stiller, one of the young up and comers in the Bundesliga for sure, that we should definitely look at. But again, we got to be smart about our resources here. Kimmich would be a free transfer. We're going to be spending big. It only makes sense to me that he comes in and can fill this 6-8 hybrid role alongside Nico Gonzalez, alongside Rodri when he's back, and it makes sense to me. I would be very in favor of that. You see Gundogan there, and others are Rodrigo de Paul, very good player for Madrid, and Fabian Ruiz, PSG, one of their better players as well. If you look over on the scouting report, you see some crazy numbers. Assists, 96th percentile. Non-penalty goals and assists, goal, 93rd percentile. Shot creating actions, 98th percentile. He's way up in passes, progressive carries, progressive passes received. I mean, the guy is clearly a creator from a deeper role, which is something that we certainly lack. We lack overall creativity in the team as is. Kimmich, for me, would just be a great signing. Free contract. He's going to demand probably a big wage, but again, we're likely seeing KDB leaving in the summer, potentially. So some of that money could go to Kimmich, and I think he would fit in tremendously well with the midfield we have as kind of a squad, super experienced player, kind of like Kovacic and Gundogan rolled into one player that's just better than both of them right now in Kimmich. So for me, that's the way I would be going in the midfield as far as a deeper lying playmaker. Joshua Kimmich, free transfer, get it done, Man City. Now, I talked about creativity. Next player I'm going to bring up here is known for creativity, and he's not an unfamiliar name for a lot of Man City fans. He's the one we all want. He's going to be the mega money signing of the window if we get him done, and it's Florian Wirtz, of course. Florian Wirtz, 9 goals, 10 assists in the Bundesliga, another 6 goals in the Champions League. Great young up-and-coming player. He'll be 22 years old going into the season, and he is going to cost mega dough. The guy might be a £120 million type transfer. He would most likely break the English transfer record for a player. And to be honest, I'm fine with that. I don't really care how much we spend on a player. It's not my money. It's not your money. It is the Sheikh's money. So he's got enough to go around. Let's get the players we need to get City back to where we belong, at the top of the table, competing for Champions League, competing for Premier Leagues. If you look at his analytics report, like I said, a lot of green numbers, a lot of high percentile numbers. Non-penalty goals, he's way up. Assists, he's in the 80-plus percentile. 98 percentile shot creating actions. 99 percentile for passes attempted. Progressive passes are up. Even blocks defensively. For a guy that's known as more of an attacking player, blocks are up defensively. So perfect. You see over on the right, some huge names as who he's similar to. Michael Olise, fantastic season for Bayern. Jamal Musiala, obviously one of the brightest young wonder kids in the world. Ousmane Dembele having an amazing season for PSG. Rodrigo, I mean, the names go on and on that list. Even Lamine Yamal, one of the maybe 3-4 best players in the world at the moment. So obviously, without a doubt, Florian Wirtz is good enough to play for Man City and would be a great KDB replacement that we could go for. Now, the drama here kind of is, does he want to come to England? Does he want to go to Bayern? Does he want to go to Madrid? And unfortunately, the main reports right now seem to be indicating he would prefer the other options over England and over Manchester City. And I don't think it's more of a Manchester City issue. I think he doesn't really feel like going to England at the moment. I think Bayern is calling him, and that's where he's maybe got his heart set at the moment. But again, plays for Leverkusen. Leverkusen don't want to sell to Bayern, so Bayern might have to stump up well past what City offer for them to let their best player go. You know, they're an up-and-coming team in the Bundesliga. They want to keep competing. They don't want to sell their best player to their direct rivals. So I still have hope there's a deal that could happen. Pep obviously raised the guy. There's many reports out there saying he wants to get this done. So, it remains to be seen, of course, but if we're going for an attacking creator, Jamal Musiala is off the table. Florian Wirtz is the guy. 120, 130, whatever the cost, I think we got to go for it and sign the guy, bring him into the team, and create sort of a new era of Manchester City where this guy is one of the faces of the team going forward. Now, defensively, there's probably going to be a need in a center back role. Unfortunately, we've seen John Stones and Nathan Ake both go down with injuries alongside Manuel Kanji, and all three of them are probably out until April, maybe even later this season. And it could be out for the rest of the whole entire season, to be honest. So that tells me they're getting older. They're very injury prone, all three of them seemingly. One of them certainly is out the door in the summer, maybe two. So we're going to need a center back. And with that, we are going to need some homegrown players to satisfy that quota. So I'm looking at Mark Gahey as one of the center backs I would personally look at going for. He's at Crystal Palace, doing a really good job for a mid-table team. There's no way he's going to turn down moving to Man City in the summer. He's only 24, maybe will be 25 by the time next season starts. He is a goal scorer, actually, from center back with 3 goals already this season, as well as 2 assists. You see over here compared to Ibrahima Konate, one of the better center backs in the Prem, without a doubt. Trevor Chalobah's having a very good season as well. And if you look at his analytics numbers over here on the left, he's way up in non-penalty goals, which is great for a center back. It's probably on corners and headers and set pieces, which City severely lack a goal-scoring threat from really most places on the pitch aside from Holland right now. It's one of our big issues that we have. But defensively, he's way up in tackles, block, clearances, aerials won. Another weakness that we have certainly is the aerials won. But another area I like specifically is progressive passes. It boils my head. It makes me crazy how much we just play backwards, side to side. I'm sitting there watching the games, and I know you guys watch them with me, and it's let's go forward, let's attack. But progressive passes, again, another key stat here for Mark Gahey. Now, I don't know how much it would cost. I remember last summer, Newcastle were in big form, and they were offering $60 million around that number, and it was rejected. So maybe 1 year less on the contract. $60 million will get it done this summer. Maybe not. Maybe you got to go up to 70. Again, this is going to be a huge spending summer for Man City with a lot of players going out and a lot of players coming in. So for me, defensively, Mark Gahey is the one. I would be spending up to maybe 65, 70 for him. And I honestly think that would get the deal done, most likely. So those are my 4 players that I would absolutely try to sign if I was Man City this summer. Who would you guys like to sign? Let me know your top targets in the comment section below. Leave me a subscription, of course. Appreciate that. We're aiming towards 100, very close, almost there. And leave a like or comment how you became a Manchester City fan. Are you a global fan like I am? I'm over here in the United States, biggest Man City fan in the country. So I'd love to meet you guys. Anyway, I will be back again ASAP. As soon as there's more news, I'll be the first to put it on my shorts, on my new TikTok, which the link is in the description as well. So anyway, thank you. City till we die. See ya.